Welcome to DVC Alumni, where every story inspires the next. The Alumni podcast where you get to hear the inspiring stories and transformation that DVC has had to offer its alumni. And now, on with the episode.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are live here at the DVC Alumni, where every story inspires the next. And
Hi, I'm Madeline. I'm technically a first-year student here at DVC, but I did dual enrollment for 2 years, so this is my third year, kind of.
okay. So if you don't mind my asking, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you and Anya Gupta are like kind of neck and neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I think she's 17, but either way, you guys are way ahead of where I was at that age. So excuse me. I've got a little bit of a frog, folks. So let's talk a little bit about, now we met, it was at the mixer that we did, the mixer we did. And I was just kind of interested because it's like you seemed very comfortable with that and everything like this. So let's talk a little bit first about kind of where you grew up and your family and all that good stuff. So where did you grow up at?
I grew up locally. I grew up going to schools in the NDUSD school district. I went to Northgate, and then I ended up going to a program at DVC called College Now, which is dual enrollment. So it's basically a high school on DVC campus, and I did that for 2 years.
Who was your professor for that?
We had high school teachers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
there's high school teachers on DVC campus, like kind of in random classrooms.
Okay.
And so there's a bunch of like high schoolers just taking. So I took all the same DVC professors that everybody else was taking. All my classmates were DVC students. And so I really enjoyed that. I felt like that really helped me build a community, and it made me feel included. And I really liked that.
Yeah. Well, and that's a big part of it. And that's one of the things I love about DVC is that inclusive part of it, because it's like you show up, and especially if you're younger than a lot of your peers, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And instead of, oh, you're too young, it's like they're like pulling you over to the table going, hey, come sit with us.
Yeah.
So you went to Northgate, right?
Yeah, I started going to Northgate. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember when they opened that school. It's like,
it's very competitive. So like the environment was very competitive. Just everybody else was doing so much stuff around you, and it was a competitive environment.
Yeah. So a lot of the kids there I know are they go straight to the four-year university. So why is it that you decided to go here, or what was that process?
I had initially applied to some UCs. I applied to Stanford as well. I was like, you know what? I only applied to college once, might as well. So I did it. But even though I graduated with my associate's degree in high school, like all the UCs rejected me.
Wait. You graduated with an associate's degree at high school?
Yeah, in high school, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but okay. So you did the 2 years of college now, and you got an associate's degree. And so, all right. So sorry. That caught me a little off guard there, so I apologize. So
yeah, I can expand on that. So I did dual enrollment, and I went to DVC, and so I was able to take 15 units a semester. So I was taking 15 units a semester while in high school, and then last semester when I graduated high school, I was also able to graduate with my associate's degree in business.
Wow. So how did you balance that? Because I mean, you're carrying, being a high school student is tough enough, and then, I mean, did you have extracurricular activities you were in high school?
I was doing clubs, I was doing volunteering, but one thing that really helped is in College Now, we only have 3 high school classes. So rather than like 6 classes, we had 3. So that made it much easier to balance. I could take in-person classes. I mean, it was still a lot to balance, but you just do it.
I'm laughing because it's like I sometimes I don't have that much stuff going on, and so it's like so you only had 3 high school classes, and you were carrying a 15-unit load, only.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I did like some United Nations. I did some volunteering.
Okay, where'd you volunteer at?
A lot of White Pony Express, and then I also like helped my program, I guess, establish some like leadership, some yearbook stuff there. So it was a good experience.
Okay, cool. What was your favorite experience through that time period there? And then we'll get back to where you're at now.
I think it was like the people, like because Northgate is such a competitive environment, everybody is like going head to head against each other. But when I went to College Now, it was students from all over the school districts. So I was going to like class with students from YV, from Mount. And so that type of environment, it's not, I'm trying to do better than you. It's more of like, I want to try and be friends with you. I want to learn from you. And, you're able to help and support them. So I'm not trying to do better than them in any way.
Okay. And so during that time period, did you get involved in some of the DVC activities?
DVC-wise, not too much. I did try to go to PBL, but I didn't really enjoy it. I felt like it was really crowded, so I didn't end up doing PBL. So I mostly stayed within my program. But I did a lot of stuff with my program. I helped found a leadership. I helped with yearbook because all the yearbooks that we have for our program are free to students. No student has to pay. So I created fundraisers and I did a lot of stuff with college now.
So, okay, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it's like, I'm just like going, okay, you have a lot of stuff going on. It's like, oh, I just did this and I just did that. So we're gonna sidetrack to your dad a little bit.
Okay.
Because he's like, I know he's a huge fan of yours. He's also a huge fan of DVC. He's on one of our advisory boards, and I don't remember which one, but talk a little bit about, is your family supportive? Are they very excited about what you're doing, or what's your family life like?
Honestly, my dad keeps me humble. I think that's unexpected, but he really tries to keep me humble. He really did set me up for success. And a lot of the time he stayed home with me and my brother growing up, which is kind of out of the norm. My dad was the one that took us to school. So I feel like that really helped. And he was able to help us with school and stuff. And so when I first started DVC, he actually helped me plan my classes. So even though my schedule was not very good, it's the thought that counts. And so at the end of the day, I was still able to get the degree. But at home, he really tries to keep me humble. And he tried you're not that smart and things like that. He just
ouch.
Yeah,
ouch.
pretty much. But in public, he's like, she does this and she does that. But at home, she's like, you're not that smart. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's part of our job as parents.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like making you right sized, because it's like the world will otherwise make that adjustment for you. So you applied to some of the 4-year schools, and what was that process like?
I had a high school counselor that was super, super helpful. She was super, super nice. I love her. And so she was helpful throughout the process. I thought I did okay on my PIQs, but then I opened all my stuff and I ended up getting rejected from every school. So I was like, okay, I'll spend another year at DVC and then transfer as a transfer student instead of a high school student.
So what were your, there was Monica Hicks, who's got an amazing story, and check out her podcast. But she says, and I absolutely agree with this, and unless you should apply to everything you can, and unless you're getting rejected, you're not reaching high enough. So the fact that so where did you apply?
I applied to Stanford. I was like, you know what? I'm probably going to apply to college once, maybe twice in my life. Might as well apply to Stanford. So I applied to Stanford, and then I applied to 4 UCs, UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, and then UC Irvine.
Okay.
I got waitlisted from UC San Diego initially, and then I ended up getting rejected.
Okay. And what programs do you want to go do there? I mean, what was your thought on majors?
I'm a business major, so the ultimate goal is Haas, of course, just because Haas has so much stuff. But my dad went to UCLA, and I grew up a really big UCLA fan. So okay. Yeah, I'm kind of deciding if I get into both, that would be a hard decision.
Okay, well, Tom Martin, he wasn't here when you got here, but he definitely is a UCLA fan. His dad went to Cal, he went to UCLA, and he wears his UCLA blue all the time.
Yeah, my dad wears a lot of UCLA.
Okay, cool. So what does your dad do?
So my dad he went to UCLA, and then out of college, he went to work for the Clorox company, did some stuff there, and then he moved to the nonprofit world, and did a lot of stuff with nonprofits, and then right now he works on sourcing packages, jars and stuff from China. Okay,
cool. So, so we're moving along. So now you've decided to come here to DVC, and you're spending time. What are you getting involved in any of the clubs or anything like that?
Club-wise, I've never been a super big club person. I was like, do I? I'm only here for probably another 4 months. Is it really worth it to invest a lot of time in these clubs? So it's I think instead, because I have a job in the tutoring, the student center, the business student center, so I spend a lot more time there, and I try and work more one-on-one with students and meet new people there.
Okay, and how do you like that experience?
I actually really like it. There's so many people that come through the student center that their stories and their backgrounds are totally different than mine. So that's what I really enjoy. Okay, it's not necessarily a linear path for everybody, right? There's people coming here at DVC at 63, right? Coming from all over the world. And so I think that's really eye-opening for me.
Yeah. And it's not. I mean, this is the thing I love about DVC, one of many things, but that we get to experience the nonlinear path of life because, I mean, I'm on my 4th or 5th career, I think. And it's like, when I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to be when I grow up.
That's what my dad says too.
Yeah. Well, he does strike me as that type. It's just like, well, I'll let you know when I figure it out. And it's like, I really like your dad. So, so we'll stop fanboying on him. So let's talk about you some more. So how did you end up tutoring in the student center?
So my high school classrooms used to be right next to the student center, actually. And so, and as a business major, I spent a lot of time in there. So I was pretty familiar with the staff and faculty that was in there. And a lot of my professors hang out in there. So I would go hang out there a lot. And so I just applied on Handshake. Handshake is the place to apply for jobs.
Okay.
And so I applied on Handshake. They ended up interviewing me, and then I got the job. And so I spent about like 16 hours a week in there.
Okay. So do you have like a wow story? Like, you were tutoring somebody and they like really got that, because it sounds like you really love the tutoring part. Is there like a point where you started out just kind of doing it and then it became like, oh my gosh, this is awesome?
Yeah, I think I was just like, you know what? I'm going to be here for another year. Let me try and get an on-campus job, right? I'll probably look on college applications, have a job. And plus in the student center, there's not a ton of people that come in for tutoring. So I'm able to do a lot of my own work as well, which is super nice. But I remember this one lady, she came in and she needed help getting a textbook. And she was from South Korea. She was about like 60 years old, I want to say. 60? Yeah. Okay. And so I was like, wow, like people are still coming to DVC at this age. And I think that was super.
Hey, I'm older than that. I'm just teasing.
And so that was super. And she ended up being in my brother's class. My brother's also here. And so she's in the same class. I was like, wow, like the contrast. My brother's 16, but she's 60 and they're in the same class, which I think DVC creates a super inclusive community in that sense, where like you could be totally different ages and you'd still be welcome at DVC, which I think is super nice.
Yeah. So, so you talked before about when you were in college. What is
college now?
College now. Sorry. And one of the things that you mentioned is you had people from Mount Diablo and from YV and from Northgate and what was that like having? Because I'm familiar with all those neighborhoods and they are really different. I went to YV way a long time ago. Before Northgate opened actually, and you guys took all our good football players. So, we used to. It was us and Pittsburgh used to be the teams, the football teams that were like really beating up on everybody. But those communities that each one serves is dramatically different. What did you find that experience like? I mean, was it eye-opening? Were you like...
It was really eye-opening. At Northgate, it's just like it's so cutthroat. Everybody's trying to do everything. But when I left and I went to college now, like people were focusing more on sports, right? They were like, I prefer, I like playing volleyball more than I prefer doing school. And so I really opened my eyes to a different skill set, which was something that I'd never seen before. And so I thought that was super helpful. And they could help me like understand an aspect out or like a world outside of school. Whereas like I can help you with a world inside of school, right? I'm able to help you academically. So I think that was a super nice relationship I was able to build with a lot of my classmates.
Oh, cool. Do you still talk to them?
Some of them, but a lot of them have gone away for college. So it's harder to keep in touch with them.
Yeah, but that's an experience that you get for the rest of your life, which is always nice.
Yeah.
So we're catching up. You got finals coming up pretty soon.
Yes, yeah.
What's the final that you're not looking forward to the most?
Probably calculus.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. We were just talking about that.
Calculus, not my favorite, but as a business major, you need calc too. So, or at least if you're applying to UCs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So trying to finish that up.
So, let's imagine for a moment you get into Haas, you go in, you get your business degree, you go on, you get an MBA, Haas, Stanford, wherever. And keeping in mind that life is very non-linear, so I'm not going to, call you up in 5 years. Hey, you were wrong. What do you think the future kind of looks like? What does the look?
I think
like
for me, like everything has been pretty corporate because my mom and my dad both did corporate, so it looks pretty corporate-y, but you never know. But I think being a good worker and a good employee, being a good colleague and being a good leader is super important to me. So that's like something I would always strive to be no matter where I go.
So your dad, but okay. So your dad was good corporate with Clorox, and then he went into the nonprofit space. Please, because it's and did he approach that in a corporate manner, and that kind of gives you really?
I feel like like right now he works at a small business right now. I don't remember too much about his nonprofits, but for like his small business, it's very the way he acts and brings his like mannerisms to his small business is very like corporate-y.
So it's more about the structure and the discipline of, and then that way you got all your stuff squared away. Do you see that? So that's something you really learned from him and your mom. And is what does your mom do?
My mom also did marketing in corporate.
Okay. And so really that discipline and everything like that is something that you've learned from them. You bring that to your schoolwork. Do you see that as something that you're going to do moving forward? Yeah,
I think discipline has always been super ingrained in me. I did Kung Fu. Me and my brother did Kung Fu for 7 years. And so that really instilled some discipline in us. So I think discipline is like, that's not something that will go away anymore. You know, it's kind of ingrained. It's built into me. I will always operate with some level of discipline. And so I think that's always been super helpful, especially with school as well.
Yeah. I learned, because I do a lot of cycling. I'm fat and slow and old, but I still go out and I love riding. But the thing I've learned is that motivation will get you started. Yay, let's go. Discipline is what keeps you going, because it's just, it's that getting up in the morning, putting the shoes on, going, oh, I don't want to do this. And still, that's where discipline comes in.
Yeah.
What do you see once you're done? I mean, do you have an imaginary role that you're kind of, what would you, if in your best case, what would you see your role look like in a business, like as you get done with college?
I think just starting in at a company and then just climbing the corporate ladder. I think that's the dream. That's the vision currently.
Do you have like a favorite, like finance or marketing or anything? You're still trying to figure it out?
Right now, I'm trying to figure it out, but for my UC application, I'm leaning towards like products and developing products to help people. I think that's super helpful. And there's no solution for everything. And the way people think is totally different. So your solution to something is different than my solution for something. And your product that you create to help somebody will help a group of people, and my product will help a group of people. And my product might not help your group of people, and your product. So it's getting a little confusing, but I think the creativity just from products can help a lot of people.
Have you been doing product development at all for some of your classes?
A little bit. I do stuff here and there. I took small business management, so that was pretty helpful, and it was really insightful.
Okay, so you don't have a product yet, but you want to think about that. Okay, so could you see yourself like looking at like running a team of product development and all the stuff that goes with that?
Yeah, I think I try and think of as many ways as possible to like create solutions. That's always the first thing I think of. Like, how can I make this better, and how can I improve it? So my brain is wired in that way. I try to observe and look at as many things as possible to make it the best it can be.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what up to this point, what's been your favorite part about coming to DVC here?
I think just the people, like whether it was from college now or from DVC, just they have so many different insights, so many different skills, so many different backgrounds, so many different stories that it's so nice to like hear them and see a different perspective that's different from mine. And so I feel like I've learned a lot from them.
Wow. Okay. So if this is for somebody like me, this is one of those questions. Well, but I mean, so imagine you were talking to your younger self. What would you tell yourself?
I think just keep going. You just do the best you can and do the best with everything that you can. Do your best and it'll all work out. I'm sure in the future when I talk to me from the past as well, I'll say the same thing. And oftentimes it's not as big or as bad as you thought it was. That calc exam that I probably thought was really bad today, probably like, okay, yeah, whatever, in 5 years.
Yeah, well, there's a quote by Seneca from 2,500 years ago that was, we suffer more in our imagination than we do in real life, or what's the rap song? It's like, I've got 99 problems, but, a woman isn't one of them, or you aren't one of them, or whatever it is. So, yeah, that's...
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it'll probably be smaller than you think it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, any last words? Anything you want to part with?
I think just be yourself. I think one of my favorite quotes, I don't remember where it is, but you can only be you, right? And I can be me. So just be yourself the greatest way you can.
Great. Well, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming in. I'd shake hands, but I don't want to be cooties on you. So it's like, well, thank you so much. I
thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to DVC Alumni, where every story inspires the next, the podcast for the DVC Alumni Association. You can contact us at alumni@dvc.edu with any comments, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe to our podcast.